Yeah, well, that's kind of the business, but at some point, if with your marketing, you're just hoping that if it's good enough, if it's interesting, it's going to catch fire. And word of mouth is gonna pick it up and take it, and people are gonna be really interested in it. So, that's the goal. Are you done with it? Are you the last one? All right.
And we will put this up on the class blog so that they can buy it, if they're so motivated. But they're saving up their money for Adobe.
I know.
So it's, now that they know that they can all be publishers. So.
Okay, so you looked at it. Any comments on this? I mean, this is my final proof. If you have anything that you saw that was glaring that bothered you, let me know. It's coming out next Wednesday on Amazon. So let me know if you're shy. You can tell me after.
I like the font.
Yeah. You know, the interesting thing about the font, the main character in this is named Bookman, and the font, I chose it because it's Bookman old style. So, you know, just a little
Do
thing.
you think there's a downside to self-publishing?
No, there's no downside to it. The amount of money I've spent doing this is less than $150.
Really?
Yeah. You
So-
can spend much more.
Yeah, but it's like, but so, say nobody wants it, that's the worst year in the whole, is like a good dinner, at the most. It's a, he's basically.
Where do you eat?
He's just saying for a bad date, and then, but I mean, that's not bad, so.
No, that's it. And that's, you sign up for them and they get you can sign up for $39 a year and then $5 every year after, and that brings your royalties way up and your cost much lower. So apparently a lot of people, I would guess, based on that a lot of people publish these and then don't do much with them, so they're just getting $39 ahead of time. But if you do something with it, it's really helpful. So it's just kind of an incentive. But I did, like I said, I did all of this, and each proof shipped to me cost less than $10. You know, I did that 6, 7, 8 times, and then with the $40. Then, you know, that's including printing up these business cards, little things like that. So yeah, it's not that expensive, and who knows where it'll go. I really believe in this book, and that's why I actually self-published it. I think it's an interesting book, and if you read it, it would be really enriching, because I don't know if you had a chance to read the back of it. If you're like me, I've read a lot of self-improvement books, trying to kind of improve myself, actually, over the years, and a lot of them are not any good, and then there are some that are really good. But even with some of the ones that are good, you can boil them down. You can boil their main points down. And that's what I've done. I've boiled them down, I've put several different ones together, and developed a storyline and threaded the philosophies together to make them more understandable, so that this is really a study guide for the rest of the books. It's not designed to keep you from reading How to Win Friends and Influence People, A New Earth, Power of Now, Zen Art, Motorcycle Maintenance, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's to get you to read them. So if you read this, you'll say, that makes sense. I want to follow up with that. It would be a good idea. So that's my idea for this book. It comes with a money-back guarantee. If you read the book in its entirety, it will change your life. Okay?
What if you're not any better?
I didn't say you'd be better,
Oh,
but obviously any book that you read cover to cover, if it's not a romance, you know, Bodice, River,
some of
whatever.
them like the romance.
Okay, well, okay. Any book that you read is going to change your life a little bit. So I'm really not going out on too much of a limb, legally speaking. But anyway, that's what it's about. Yes, ma'am.
Did you have any, sorry, I keep asking questions.
No, please.
So, okay, I read the description of the book online this morning, and you mentioned a lot of things. The Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, Zen in the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, and these books that you've listed. Are there, because I don't know, I've never done it before, but is there any like legal issue with using these books
Yes.
and their titles and
No, well, no, not necessarily their
or
titles.
discussing them?
the concept of law is called fair use. And you can use other people's writings as long as you quote it and don't use too big of a quote. And it's fuzzy, it's not specific, like you can use 3 lines, 3 paragraphs, or whatever. It's just you're not supposed to use too much, and you're supposed to give them credit for what they've written. And I think,
Yeah, avoiding plagiarism is key. And like, you could have a character in your novel watching 30 Rock, and maybe a line of dialogue comes up, but you should not be repeating lines and lines of dialogue. It's like, or else 30 Rock wants their money, NBC wants their money.
right,
So-
or their storylines.
Exactly.
You don't want to be stealing any of their creative, intellectual.
Claiming it for yourself, is that what you mean?
Yeah, but this book is explaining those books. I mean, if you can't write something explaining something else, where would we be? I mean, that's what all your textbooks are about. They're explaining other things, so.
I mean, you didn't have to contact them and say, I'm gonna put you in my book, and.
No, but actually, that's a good thing that I tend to do at some point. Say, look, send them a copy and say, look, I've quoted this, I'm pushing your book. Maybe, you would like to give me a quote. And they would put a blurb on there like this other guy did. If you're interested in this genre at all, self-help, self-publishing books, you really ought to check out the website, his website. Because it's exhaustive. He has a little, a few paragraphs, a little essay on almost every single self-improvement book there is. And he has several books, several hardcover books as well, but you can get so much right off of his website. And he's coming out with a new one on philosophy. He's working on philosophy right now. Really great guy and a really, really great website.
Did you find him or did he find you?
Actually, I found his website and in the research of this, used it quite a bit, and I wrote to him and said, hey, this is a great website, so we kind of kept up correspondence since then. And that's been very enriching.
And then he agreed to blurb your book?
Yeah, when I finished writing, I said, hey, I used your website to research this and just wondered what you thought. So I sent it to him. I wasn't really asking him, hey, would you give me a quote? But that's what he came back with, which was very nice. And it really does help. I mean, when people read that, then they're more interested in it.
What would you say your research process was for this latest book? Or even all your books?
Life.
Like,
Yeah, this one required much more research than others that I've written. I just felt like I needed to make sure that I read not only these books, but a wide swath of these types of books to rule some of them out, because I didn't want to talk about books that were not helpful to people and that I didn't find worthy of all these books come together to as kind of a braid. What am I looking for here? They kind of intertwine to create their own philosophy. This book has its own philosophy that's kind of woven out of the other books. And I do it in just over 200 pages. So. And I think that's important, because if you're going to a major publisher, they have requirements of length and size and all that. And so that's why I think a lot of them end up putting a lot of extra stuff in there that people don't need, just to meet the requirements of the publisher. And when you're doing your own thing, you don't have that at all. You can make it as brief as you possibly can, which I think adds value, doesn't subtract.
Well, you stop telling the story when the story is finished, as opposed to, now, does Amazon help you with things like, I mean, as you're writing, do you have a sense of what your paper page count is going to be? Like, is it a word count, is it a template? I mean, so you sort of have an idea when you're done, or does it guide you in that?
No.
You just finish and then it tells you how many.
Right. Yeah, and then you just kind of format it using Word with the paper size and font size. it comes out to what it comes out to. But I didn't feel a need to, you know, write to a certain number of words, which I kind of have in the past, but I didn't necessarily. Is this interesting to everybody, or are you getting anything out of this?
They knew very little before today about the mechanics of how to self-publish. I mean, they know that it exists, JD's talked about it, University Press, Mac has talked about it, but I don't, am I right? I don't think any of us knew anything about how would one go do that. We just knew it existed, so that part is, I think, very useful. But what about like blog metrics, and, I mean, do you measure your blog traffic? Are you able to drive people to Amazon through that? I mean, how does that work?
You can do that. I'm not good at doing that. I'm not bad at doing that. I'm just not, I don't have the hard copy yet, and I think that the vast majority, even though Kindle is quite big, I think the vast majority of people reading my blog are hard copy people still. So I'm really not prepared yet to do that. I will be next week though.
And will you sell the book on your blog, or it flips them over to Amazon and they
Amazon.
buy it there? Okay.
Yeah, Amazon. That's so easy, much easier. I guess I could do that, but I don't really want to put things in boxes and ship them.
No, I just was curious. So Amazon takes the weight of distribution off of you entirely? So
Right.
you're not worried about getting things to bookstores, to
Right.
anything?
Yeah, but I mean, I will order, 100 or something like that at a time, and take them to Joseph Beth, and take them to, what's the one over on Southland Drive?
Morse Bookshop?
Morse Bookshop, yeah, and, maybe Barnes and Noble, maybe they'll even carry some local ones. So I'll do that, and I'll keep those up from time to time. And with the aim of trying to kind of get a buzz going locally, in terms of marketing plan.
Do you have a Facebook profile page for it?
Yeah,
I haven't seen that. I've seen your Facebook page, but I haven't seen one for the book yet.
yeah, there's one for the, a fan page.
Right.
There's that, and there's my own personal one, and I intend on Wednesday to send out an event on Facebook, and to everybody that I have on there, just say, look, it's launching on Amazon, you can go buy it right now, stuff like that.
So it's an electronic launch as opposed to like in the old, like you would be at Joseph Beth doing a signing?
Yeah.
Sort of.
Well, yeah, I think I'd like to stage an actual book signing at some point, but that'll be probably in March, I think. And have a bunch of people come. You're welcome to come. Let Daddy come. I would be honored.
They all have jobs, so we'll have to schedule it during class time.
That counts. Class credit. Yeah.
So the process of writing this particular book, did you get up and work on your computer? Like, did you have a couple hours a day dedicated to writing? Did you like go and work at a job, then come home and write? I mean, like, what was your habit as a writer
Well,
to get this book out?
my habit as a writer has always been the same. From early times, I generally prefer to write in the morning, but if I'm working out, I'll do it in the evening. I start out with very simple video games. And what that does is it gets me in front of the computer. And then I have like the game of solitaire till I win, free cell till I win, backgammon till I win, but that's gotten me in front of the computer, And then my goal has been 500 words or less. I think that if you're writing over 500 words, you're not writing, it's not the pith, it's not the good stuff. A lot of people do it much differently, but when I'm trying to get through a first draft, that's what I do. I just, I write, and sometimes you write a little bit more, sometimes you write a little bit less. Just get down in front of the computer, get yourself going, and then just aim for 500 words, 250 maybe.
How long was the whole process of writing and editing?
Oh, I would say 2.5 years. And that's a long time for me. I wrote the other, let's say, 7 in 6 to 9 months. Chipping away at it, 500 words at a time.